So, we're live. Again. This is a continuation of my playthrough on AKUMU mode. This is part 13. And I always say in the beginning that... excuse me, I know that's annoying. I have terrible allergies. Which... yeah, I have to get allergy shots every week now for the next year or two, but... okay, now I'm off. This is part 13 out of 200. No, not really, but, the part has nothing to do with where I am. I am in chapter 10 right now, and I am continuing off of an autosave. This is probably the first time. There was a problem before when I was broadcasting. I don't know, while I was playing there was... somebody sent me a message, and I didn't want to go to the PS screen and leave, because I don't know what that does. I believe maybe it only pauses the broadcast, instead of stopping it. I'll probably have to do that again if there's any problem. Because I wasn't able to read the message until I stopped the broadcast. Because I figured there was a problem, because I was chatting with someone, and you know, I got an alert that there was a message, and I couldn't read it, but you know, I was like running around, kind of still talking, and I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, you know, maybe my microphone died, maybe something happened, because, you know, I was asking if somebody could hear me, and I wasn't getting any response in the chat responses. Not that there were like 100 people in here or anything. But it was still telling me on the side, or informing me by numbers, there were some people in here. And I don't even know if anyone was in here. When I read the message, the person was telling me they couldn't watch the broadcast anymore, or access it, and when I checked the video afterward, everything did record. So there was nothing wrong with my mic, there was nothing wrong with anything. I don't know what the problem was. I wish I did, so I could maybe do something to prevent it, because it's kind of difficult now for me, if it happens again, to tell, you know, if there's a problem like that, if somebody can't watch it. I guess I will have to pause the broadcast if there is any problem. So, I'm loading off an autosave. I've been broadcasting since the beginning of chapter 1, the beginning, and as you can see, it's on AKUMU difficulty. And it's not on a new game plus. If there was, there would be a clear here, so I started the game off fresh. And I am upgrading as I go along. I just don't have the confidence. I always emphasize I'm not, you know, a pro or an expert. I dispense advice when I can. I've played through this mode once. But there are a lot of situations I find myself in where I don't really know the best way to go about it, so this is sort of kind of like a raw experience. Okay, so I'm going to load this. Now, I am collecting all of the keys, and I'm coming up, well, not this part, but there's going to be a part coming up in this chapter when the trauma are introduced, and normally there's a way, when the first one comes out, you can get by them. I mean, it's not, there's a way to get by them, and it really, generally, my recommendation would be to try to get through the situations, dealing with them without, you know, firing at them and trying to kill them, because they're very strong and you can lose a lot of ammo and trap parts trying to dispose of them. I really don't know what I'm going to do because I'm collecting all the keys and there happens to be a key in that room. So I'm probably going to try something new. I always emphasize, you know, there's no penalty in trying something new. If it happens to fail, you die. You die and, you know, you have an infinite amount of lives, so... Again, I apologize if I'm grunting or anything. I just really... Again, I have kind of really bad allergies. Alright, here's the key, and I am doing bad with aiming here. Now, I die in this. I die a number of times. If anybody watched the previous broadcast, I was in the circular blade section, and I learned a lot, or I have a lot to say, a lot more about Sebastian and his inability to pretty much do anything without standing up. So when you're in a section with circular blades, you start realizing that really, if you do anything, if you draw a weapon, he stands. You take out a syringe, not that it's useful on this mode at all. He will stand up to use it. Light a match, stand up to use it. So when you're in a section with circular blades, and you stand up to use anything, that's just not a good idea. So that's just really part of the game, and I don't know. See, I switch on default settings. You probably hold the R1 button to crouch. I always switch to toggle because the thing is, I sneak around a lot and I play very cautiously, and I can't imagine having my pointer finger pressed down on the R1 button for extended periods of time without it causing me a deal of pain. So I you know, just press the button to do this. Now, there is a little inconsistency with this, and which I kind of found with the circular blades. Or maybe it just reminded me. The thing is, as long as you're sneaking, if you're sneaking behind somebody, and they go through a door, you can still sneak up behind them. When you go to open the door slowly, he will stand, and there'll be a period of 1 or 2 seconds where he'll stand there like he's announcing himself. He'll go immediately back into the crouch. It won't alert anybody. It's the same with jumping through a windowsill. However, with drawing a weapon, it is not. I'm crouched right now. If I draw the weapon and stop, he won't go back to the crouch automatically. And when I was in the circular blade section, there were 2 haunted that came out who were pretty smart, and they just sort of ducked and crawled towards me. Now, at that point, I use a flashbolt to hit them. So when they stand up, the blade will decapitate them. So I just have to remind myself to press the R1 button immediately after firing, because it won't automatically do that. So as you can see, I shot that key and whatnot. There are spikes in there. You just want to, you know, there's green gel to the left here. I am collecting all the green gel I can for upgrades. And the keys, collecting, I always say all of the keys. There's just one key I'm not going to collect. Incidentally, doing this will unlock the Master of Unlocking trophy, which requires you to open all the lockers, not get all the keys. But I'm getting all the keys primarily because I'm trying to maximize my chances of defeating it on this mode, and there is a lot of green gel and ammo in the lockers, so now I could die a couple times here, and that's fine. Now, in this mode, from what I found before, and I guess I forgot, maybe it wasn't too memorable to me, but again, Ruvik clones appear in places where they weren't in other modes. I've never tried it before, but apparently you can sneak kill the Rubik clones, which is good. One of the reasons, see, if you look, I'm drawing this. This isn't an error or anything. You know, I'm not on New Game Plus. I've collected and amassed a lot of green gel to do upgrades, and my harpoon bolt right now is at level 5, which gives you this fire damage. Pretty much at this point, Ruvik clones, one hit, they're down. And it's in a very stealthy way. If there's any other enemies around, they won't be alerted. This isn't like firing a gun, so this is a quiet weapon. Well, there's a syringe up there, but it's entirely useless on this mode. Again, you can't really, well, you can't get hit once, so even seeing the health bar is kind of meaningless, but, well, I'm probably going to get noticed, which is fine if I get away quickly and shut the door. Doors are good for that purpose. It always takes enemies a while to get through the doors, so it gives you time to get away and hide. As long as they're not directly on your back, because at that point they'll probably, the door won't close. For the first half of this chapter, normally I try to dispose of any enemies in a stealthy way, because on this chapter it gets to a point where all of a sudden you're just bombarded with one thing after the next. You know, the trauma come out, which are kind of mini bosses, and then after that you're dealing with Laura and having to run away from her, and then you get to the garage boss at the end of this chapter, which is kind of a notorious boss. Kind of a pain. So, I don't know what to do here. I'd like to disarm the bomb first in case it explodes in my face, and I just go back to the checkpoint rather than deal with a bunch of enemies and have it happen, but really, I just got noticed, so I'm getting out of here. Kicking open doors alerts enemies, but I shut the door in their face, and they're going to take a while to get through the door, so I'm just going to crouch here. Unless the Rubik clone comes after me, which, well, he might turn around too. I'm hoping he stops right around here. And most enemies will stop at some point and turn around and walk slowly back. Some of them will run back to their position, which makes the stealth killing them a lot more difficult. But even if they run back, sometimes they change the position they were in, which might make it easier. This is kind of a tactic I use of luring enemies away from where they are. Is to just make myself aware, or, you know, known, and really I just made a lot of noise by sprinting right there. That's really what the problem was. And there's the Rubik clone, which, if you're playing on any mode really, if he starts spouting a surge at you and it hits you, it's a one-hit instant kill. So if you are playing on survival or casual mode, there wouldn't be a Rubik clone here. Well, I know on casual, I'm pretty sure on survival. I mean, they definitely, I don't know anything about Nightmare mode. From what I understand, it seems to be very similar to this mode, except maybe, you know what, you can't get killed in one hit. I'm not sure. Again, he always stands to go through these doors, and if you were already crouched beforehand, he should go back into the crouching position. I don't know. So if I was following somebody through this door in a stealthy way, even though I stood up and did that, it shouldn't make them aware and turn around. Their awareness is much greater on this mode. And their speed is literally about twice as fast, so it's not really just about the one-hit kill. I don't know about this. No. Yeah, I was doing pretty fine in the beginning of the chapter with these bombs. Seems once I hit this one, it just keeps exploding in my face. It's probably going to be the only one I disarm in this room. As you can see, I have, what, 57 trap parts. Now, a lot of that is from... I use Chapter 7 and 9 as a way of collecting a lot of things in preparation for this chapter and for Chapter 11. Because I expect to blow a lot of ammo and trap parts in those two chapters, in this one and the next. In the same way that chapters 2 and 3 are good ways to collect a lot of things, and 5 and 6 could really drain you. I mean, it drained me. I mean, the 2 rooms in the beginning of chapter 6 drained me a lot of parts, and again, I'm not an expert gamer, so I could have definitely done that more efficiently, but really, being in that situation, how tense it is, I just... Once that door opened and I hit the checkpoint, I really had no interest in going back and trying to do it over again. There are a lot of other situations where I'd like to keep a save in case, you know, I think I can go back and do it in a better way. Because there's just not much ammo and things lying around, and if I can get by in a stealthy way and not waste ammo, that's what I'll do. Again, this is one of the keys. I'm gonna have to keep getting it if I die. I mean, you just want to get out of here, like, you know, you have time to pick up the jar and pick up the key, but... Well, so I guess I'm gonna try. I don't know of any other way to really at this point. I mean, I go in here and I typically alert someone. Just a lot of them walking around, and it's a good way to announce yourself. I don't know, this is probably the best thing to do right here, is to just stand up and, you know, okay, well, he's throwing something at me. That door, if it shuts, I should be fine. Now, you can hear them, they're kind of pounding through the door. If the door did not shut and they were directly right on my back, I would probably wind up dying. I mean, usually they come out the door and stop around here. Well, only one of them seemed to come out, but... So, I don't know. I do this sometimes. I just stomp them. I almost feel like by doing so I'm going to squeeze green gel out of them. I don't know. If it just seems to come out automatically. Although that does make noise, but... I'm gonna switch this. Now, playing on this mode, there are extra traps placed in places, in a lot of places you really don't want to see them. In the beginning, when I was in the circular blades, there were bear traps in there. Now, there's one positive thing about that. Having extra traps means extra parts, as long as you're not in an extremely tense situation where you're trying to run away, like with Laura, when that's going to come up in this chapter, and there's just bear traps directly in your trap, and she's twice as fast, and it can get pretty frustrating, because you can just, if you've hit the bear trap, that's it, it's over. I really hope this doesn't explode in my face this time, which I think I did good there. And I alerted people, which I really hope that door closes. Now, if they come any farther than this, I'm not really screwed. I can keep running back, and there's a ladder. Now, they can climb, but they won't climb that ladder, at least from my experience. They might hang around down at the bottom, and you'll have to run back further before they turn around, but this is kind of a good place to, like, lure them out. Man, I'm gonna really lose my voice. And I hate this because I know I keep grunting and whatnot. Now this is gonna become annoying. Oh my god, what did I do? I guess I sprinted around and made noise, which is fine. I mean, I can have them come out. He didn't come as far as I would like. Now again, I stood up there. I don't want to do that for a long period. As long as I'm not sprinting. If I start sprinting, it's immediate awareness. Now he could notice me right now easily because I don't think I'm going to get this off, the stealth kill, but again, he stands up automatically to open doors, and I should go back to the crouching position. This isn't good. I'd really kind of want to get through this and not die again. But so all right. A lot of this really is about, especially on this mode, about having a level of patience. I don't even know how I got noticed, honestly, right there, but I guess it's just important to be aware of listening, to hear them when they get all riled up. Because a lot of times I say things, I mean, I probably wasn't in the best position in terms of hiding, and the Rubik clone is really not happy, I guess. Apparently you can sneak kill the Rubik clones. Now, I don't know if I want to try that. Yeah, they're a little more aware. I'm going to stand here. If I hit him one time, even if he emits a surge, he will die. That looks bad, and right now it is bad because there's another enemy there, and I just messed up really bad. God. I didn't expect the other enemy to be there, and you know, this is what happens. And really, again, I'm not editing anything, and usually what I try to do is not let any... If I get frustrated while playing this, it might... See, the idea is, in my head, I might think to myself, look, I just want to get... I'm going to want to get through this quicker, you know? And really, I try to keep the plans that I was doing and just go about it still slowly, because I guess if I just let my level of frustration take over, what I'm going to do is blow a lot of ammo just to get through a situation fast, and I might end up in another situation later on, in which case I really would have liked to have conserved it when I could have. So, I have to just get that key every time. Yeah, and literally, this could happen. I could just be broadcasting, you know, for like 2 hours in one section. Really, I should get rid of the Ruvik clone as quickly as possible. You know, one way to do this, I'm gonna kick open the door and make a lot of noise. I'm not going to try to sneak kill the Ruvik clone. I've heard it's possible, but even though I was even crouched behind him, he turned around very quickly. I think if you do it, if it is indeed possible, I've read it is, but I guess you have to be a bit more careful. And really, one of the reasons for having my harpoon bolts at this level is to dispose of the Ruvik clones quickly. This is more so of thinking in places where they appear in twos. Chapter 11 is normally the place where you would meet one of them for the first time. And on this mode, it's in Chapter 3. In Chapter 11, where you would where you do meet him for the first time. On on the normal mode, instead of one, there's two of them. Which hopefully I'll get to someday. And really the key there, I mean, is just getting rid of them. All of the other haunted just disappear. As long as you dispose of them. I kind of wish that was the case right here, but... This, you know, this would be really terrible. I can imagine somebody, anybody who's coming in here. Nobody's in here this second, but there were two people. If the same two people came back here like an hour later, and I was still here. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, this is... Maybe this is a good time to get rid of the Ruvik clone. And, okay, maybe it wasn't. I can't tell you what happened there, I don't know. I'm guessing that another enemy hit me. That's what it's didn't notice anybody by me. Unless the surge was that quick, oh man. This has also happened to me on occasion when I've been playing this. There's situations that I anticipate that I'm going to have a problem with, and then there's some I'm not thinking about, and the ones that I'm not thinking about are the ones sometimes that really, you know, bite me in the ass. From my recollection, I mean, I didn't even remember there was a Ruvik clone in this area, so... Yep, just kick that door open. Come on. The only problem with dying over and over again really is that it sort of leaves me in a position where I don't know what else to talk about, because really I'm just following the same plan that I did before. And it's perfectly fine as long as I don't give in to any frustration and start, you know, running around and making a lot of noise and doing things in a different way. kick the door open again. See what happens. Of course, I should have had my harpoon bolts already ready. Well, see, that's kind of frightening even in and of itself, like how close they are, and how close, I mean, just... Oh, no. They're very close to each other, and I don't know what's going on. Oh my god. See, I don't know about this whole sneak kill Rubiclone thing. This time I'm climbing the ladder, because... okay, this is not working out well. Alright, that was a little bit... To be quite honest, I mean... I don't really know about that. It sort of just felt like... Alright, the surge appeared underneath me, I didn't hear anything. It's kind of... I don't know. Man. To some extent, it's not even so much the situation that, I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit frustrated right now just at my own voice and having these allergies and whatnot, because I just don't feel like my voice is up to... Not that it ever is. I mean, typically I sound very monotone when I'm talking. I mean, this is just the way it is. I'm not... But... I'm just kind of... My throat's a bit parched. Which is why it would be good to probably drink some water, but I don't know. I drink some water and it just doesn't seem to really help that much. This has nothing to do with the game, and I'm... I guess I should get this ready and remind myself to get the harpoon bolt ready. I did do that intentionally. I'm not saying that. I mean, I do a lot of things like by accident, and I die plenty of times, but this is what I'm doing basically. I'm luring enemies out here. It seems to be after I get the first one, I can go after the bomb and disarm it, which, again, this is optional. And this is for parts. My confidence level with disarming these bombs probably at this point is... It's a bit higher than it was. The one thing about these bombs, and I know a lot of people can disregard them, and or a lot of people might, because, you know, it is frustrating because the needles moves very fast. It's a very small blue space to stop it on. But in places where there's a save room available all the time, or you can save the game afterward, I mean, I would definitely recommend disarming them. That's 2 trap parts each bomb, and it's really equivalent to a stun bolt or a harpoon bolt. I mean, this is why it's not just because of those. I mean, I basically disarm any trap I can, and I put a lot of, like, when I do upgrades, a lot of my upgrades, I've upgraded the bolts themselves. And I make a lot of use of them, and you know, there's some particular upgrades like this harpoon bolt, which really from level 4 to level 5 is 50,000, which I utilize in very specific circumstances. So in some cases it would seem, you know, maybe, well, is it really worth it? And to me it is, especially on this mode. If I can just dispose of, you know, even if it's one or two enemies that would cause a lot of grief in a situation, and I'd be dying over and over again, which I say that, and I'm kind of dying over and over again here. This is why later on when I get the Magnum I'm going to be upgrading it to pretty much level 4 on everything except for probably the reload. Maybe even the critical. I'm not even sure how important that is. And this is really because of I can dispose of the Chapter 14 boss and the 2 keepers at the end of Chapter 15, you know, very quickly. Chapter 14 boss pretty much, I mean, literally 5 to 7 seconds. And that could be a real pain, that boss, if on this mode, if once he just starts getting into the vents and starts kind of camouflaging himself and you know, he throws out the leeches, and it's a one-hit kill. It can become really problematic. Basically, with the Magnum at that level and a shock bolt, you could pretty much kill him before he can get into the vents. Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to shoot him now. I don't want to get... That's... Okay, I guess I wound up... Seriously? Usually tips come on the screen when the first time, you're about to do something or you've done something. Like, for instance, that... What I must have done is the bomb must have blown up. That kind of makes me wonder. I'm in chapter 10. That, well, I guess that goes to show you then how careful I've been, or how cautious, and I've disarmed a lot of the bombs that I mean, it seems to be the first instance that I've ran past the bomb and had it explode. It probably isn't. It could have happened at another time or two and I may have died. But maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just got past that, luckily, and it didn't kill me. I just found that odd. The tip came on the screen and I'm on chapter 10. So the Ruvik clone's gone. You know, at this point, that bomb I was going to disarm is gone. There are other bombs in there, and, I don't know. You know, I have 57 parts. I think I'm okay. I just... This isn't really about just this chapter. It's chapter 11, which... Chapter 11, I could see how it could be a little more off-putting to some people, as well as chapter 12. It becomes a little bit more combat kind of oriented, which I really like the horror survival aspect appeal of this, and being in creepy situations, and chapter 11 is kind of, you know, especially when you get to chapter 12, and I know chapter 11 I skipped, but you know, you get on top of that truck, and you know, grab a machine gun, and you know, it's kind of, I don't know. As far as the overall atmosphere and it being a horror game, it kind of at that point seems more of a action game, but so I don't know how many more enemies are in here, and the general rule on this mode is that there just are more enemies, where in previous modes there wouldn't have been. And there's also some enemies you wouldn't expect to see thrown in a situation like the Ruvik clone in this one. Yeah, that bomb's gone. I guess I got lucky that it didn't kill me. I guess the one good thing about having the Ruvik clone around is that it drops a decent amount of green gel. Now, I can hear others and I don't know where they are, and okay, there's somebody I think I could see over there. Now, there's also traps and okay. I want to draw some. I just want to draw these people out, and these people. Now I'm really starting to question because a couple times I've said people, and I'm like, well, they're not people. But you know what? I don't know. Maybe they are. That's. I guess the idea is. It's hard for me to tell. With the overall plot of this, really, what's transpired. To me, I guess they are people, and maybe they're more or less under Ruvik's control at this point, and everybody's attached to the machine. I'm a little bit confused. I don't know where the enemy is. I guess he didn't chase me that far, but the door is open right there. Still, it didn't close. Okay. Yeah, how about I just kick the no. You can knock enemies back if they're behind the door, but... Oh no. I try to be aware of what's going on in my surroundings. See, when he turns the corner, it would have been very easy for him to see me through the gate, and if I didn't back up. But really, I don't know. I'm kind of gonna let... Oh, I don't know. See, I kind of hope they give me chase for a little bit. I'm just not... I think I'm in one of those dead zones right now in my head. No, they're not even going far. Well, one is. Okay. It's good times. Hopefully there's only one more in here. I can hope all I want, but I expect there to be a lot more. Well, not a lot. Well, there's probably more than one. Maybe I should grab the bottle. I don't know. That's not going to do me much good right here. Well, maybe it will. What am I talking about? Oh, I'm not even thinking straight. See, this is... Depending on where this enemy... Well, they're over there. I don't know. Being careful. I don't want to step in something. Okay, he noticed me. It's fine. I just don't know how far he'll give me chase, really. This is a little risky. I'm moving up a little bit because I don't know how far he's gonna go. You know, he could go farther, and I'm going to. Oh no. Okay, he stopped. Now, at this point for me, again, with the bombs, I would give myself about a 70% chance that I would disarm them. But you see, after going through all that and disposing of all the enemies, I was willing to do the first one just because it was only after one enemy, but, you know, that happened to blow up because I ran past it, so I'm probably just gonna you know, I have enough parts. I just kind of want to get to the section with the trauma and kind of deal with it because I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it and getting the key. The last time I did this, I wound up taking down the first trauma in order to get the key, and I really would not like to do that because they're very strong and they take a lot of damage. And I'm not really that safe because I know there's traps all around here, and there's probably another enemy. I don't hear anybody, but I believe when you get to the door, another one is going to appear, and so I'm not going to deal with disarming these because I'm just, after doing all of that, I really don't want to have a bomb explode in my face. I normally recommend trying to disarm as many as possible for the trap parts. And if there was a save room, oh my god, no good. If there was a save room available, I would go back to it, and oh man, I'm screwed. Oh god. Would have went back to the save room and saved it. There is no save room here. This is where easily an example of how it can become frustrating, because now every enemy I just dealt with and everything, I have to do it all over again. And I'm not going to change my plans again because this really is a matter of maybe you could see I'm getting a little frustrated. I don't think 4 bullets to the statue is good. I know that there's handgun ammo over there, but oh man. Times like these again, I don't really even know what to talk about because, you know, I'm not changing any of my plans and going about it, and I've said this before, so I don't know what to say that's new except that, yeah, I wasn't being very cautious. Bodies lying around, extra traps, and I want to switch to the harpoon bolts again. You know what, just come after me. Let's go. Now, some of the haunted also, and I've said this before, and maybe I should try to point it out, are a little bit more ferocious and faster than others. Oh my god, this one. Usually if you see this guy, and I don't know if he has barbed wire around his chest or what it is, but he tends to be pretty erratic and fast, and I'm thinking he's one where when you down him with a shotgun or whatnot, that See, lighting a match is even I use risky, but I'm using it in kind of a different way, because the risk of anything here is death, and death means just going back to a checkpoint. There is no, you know, game over necessarily, so... See, they won't climb this ladder. Normally, under any other circumstance, they will climb ladders. This just happens to be in... I don't know what this... Maybe it's because when you get down this ladder, you pass a checkpoint. This is just part of... I don't know. I believe if I just go away to the side for a little bit, he'll turn around. I think so. I did this earlier. And I was happy about it, because when I get to the trauma, and if he chases me up to the door and I can run away long enough, maybe he'll go back into kind of a routine. I don't know, I keep thinking ahead, and this isn't helping me right now. He seems to have calmed down. I was about to say before, though, if you knock this guy down, I've had the experience, it just seems visually in my head when I'm remembering. Some of them, when you light a match, spring up very quickly, and he seems to be one of them, although... You know, really anybody can spring up quickly, and usually when I'm lighting a match to burn a body, I try to stay near their feet, not directly over their body. Because even if they don't spring up to their feet, if they just sit up and kind of just wave their hand over your leg, it's death. Well, that's one. Again. Kind of wish he wouldn't stand there for so long when he opened the door. One of the things that kind of blocks my view, but it's sort of weird. He kind of like goes to the door and there's this motion. It's just like 1 or 2 seconds where he just sort of stands there. Rubiclone, great. Let's just have this explode in my face. No. Oh, no, no, no. I'm glad I got the trap parts, but now I really have to get away. Oh man, this thing's just following me. This is just not good. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get away. This is just not good. Now, before I ran up here, and I didn't run this far, and the surge just, I didn't hear it. It just sort of appeared underneath me, and I just died, and... Now, one of the reasons that could have happened, really, is for the same reason, or connecting the dots here, why none of the enemies climb this ladder. Which I don't really know the full reason. It might have something to do with passing a checkpoint, I don't know, but there's probably a similar problem going on. It's not that I want them to chase me up the ladder, because really at this point, I can't go through this door, and I don't have anywhere to go, but... Which, for that reason, this is like the last resort. If they give chase for a very long period of time, or you're aware, you can kind of climb up the ladder here, and they just won't follow you. I wish I could say that the surge was the same, but I did die earlier, and the surge just kind of appeared underneath me, and this time it didn't, but I really have to be more cautious now, because I am making kind of certain mistakes. Even the tiniest mistake just means death, right now, or even on this mode in general, but, it's funny, I went into this chapter with already kind of a grim mindset, because this isn't one of my favorite chapters, and it's one of those that can be very frustrating. And I get through the first section. I don't know, maybe it had to do with chats, it puts me in a more jovial mindset, but so I come back in and I'm kind of like, you know what? And really, for me, maybe the level of difficulty, or what could be frustrating for me, and again, I'm not an expert gamer, but remembering my first playthrough, it was really chapter 6 that was kind of the peak, really, of my frustration. Now this kind of was up there, kind of rivaled it, but I mean, I think what mitigates it is the fact that I've been upgrading a lot, and what did on my first playthrough. And on my first playthrough, I did the same thing. I collected all the keys and did whatnot. I mean, my explosive bolt's at level 4. This is at level 3. I didn't do anything with that. This is 4. This is 5. It makes it a lot easier. And I can't imagine doing this without upgrades, and I know that people do and have. I've seen videos, and it's very impressive. I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where I would feel comfortable or confident doing it without upgrades. It's just even one thing, like thinking about not having the ability to sprint for a longer period of time, which on this mode really is the only, in my opinion, well, from an absolute standpoint, there's 4 abilities. Health and syringe recovery are absolutely pointless on this mode. There's nothing to recover from. You'll never lose health on this mode, because it's just a one-hit kill. So that leaves melee damage and sprint. Melee fighting on this mode really isn't really what I'm interested in. It can certainly help in situations, I suppose, so in a way that's not absolutely pointless, but I mean, the only ability that I upgrade is the sprint level. And I got it up to level 4 very quickly. It was maybe in chapter 3, or at least by chapter 4. Now I could sit here and talk for hours. Right now I'm alone, there's nobody in here, and of course I'm thinking, like, I see people come in here and I'm thinking like the same people are coming back, and I've said this before. I said this before in the same position I think I'm in, sitting right here. Imagine if I'm here for like 4 hours and like the same people come in and see me just sitting here. The impression might be I'm just literally just sitting here. Maybe I just passed out and, Sebastian's just sitting here for hours. So I've only killed one enemy. I disarmed that bomb, which last time it exploded. Now, alright, this is an example like why I beforehand was kind of like okay, that tip appeared on the screen in chapter 10. Now, the thing is, this is probably what happened. If I run past another bomb and it explodes, the tip's gonna appear again, just because I never reached a checkpoint, before, so it's probably gonna appear again. And that's probably what happened a few other times. I've probably run past bombs and they've exploded, and the tip appeared. So it'll probably appear again at some point. Because it really, I mean, I'm being, like, careless in some of these situations, and this situation requires a level of delicacy, it seems, and I am pretty cautious generally. I'm just... Oh no, God, if I could just get rid of this Ruvik clone. Again, another example of a situation where I just really didn't... I forgot, or I didn't, maybe I didn't forget, I don't know, I just forgot there was even a Ruvik clone here, and again, this is not good, and I kind of want to draw the Ruvik. Oh no, 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 no. You could see the hands were there, and there was no sound, but it seems that the surge disappeared. So it seems like if I run back to the door here, if the Ruvik clone happens to emit the surge with the Lore Claws, that I can run up the ladder and at least go near this door. It seems to be a safe enough distance to get away from it. But it's just kind of odd that I climb up the ladder and the claws kind of just appear through the ground, and there's no sound, and again, I don't know, something's just weird about this ladder. Like, none of the enemies will climb it, which is good, but I mean... This is just giving me a lot more problems than I expected, and again, this has happened during my playthrough. This is my second playthrough, but a lot of the situations that I'm thinking of in my head, and have been problematic, because I'm already aware of ones that have caused me the most grief, and then I just sort of forget and put to the side other situations in which I'm not, I should have probably paid more attention to or thought about. I really have to just dispose of this Ruvik clone, and this harpoon bolt certainly helps. It's just this room's very cramped, and I can't seem to get... Oh, man. I have to be looking around, and see, if I'm sitting here, that's not good for being aware by someone over there, but if I stand, no, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna get noticed by somebody walking through the door, and I'd like to get rid of the Ruvik clone, and I'm not in a good position. Okay, this is not good. No, please don't come out here. Turn around. Okay, let's see if I can just do this really quickly. Okay, well, this is another point to think. I couldn't really show it here because this is just too close and crammed, the space. If the Ruvik clone happens to emit the surge, as long as you can, at least with the harpoon bolt, I mean, or in any weapon if you can just dispose of him. A freeze bolt might, I don't know. If you can kill him, even while the surge is moving, it will disappear right away. Right after you dispose of him. So you won't be left with claws chasing you like while he's dead, but now you see, I really want to be careful here because like beforehand I might have just let my guard down because like getting rid of the Ruvik clone is great, but there's still more enemies in there, and you know, it's just before, I mean, I pretty much felt like I was in the clear, and I just body in the ground sprung up, and that was the end of me. Oh man. I'm going to have to just get people to chase me a little bit, because I gotta get some of these people out of here. Some of these people. See, it's always hard to say. It's weird to say. I kind of hope he chases me down to this exact spot and stops. But he didn't, and if I had moved myself ahead, I would have said, I hope he chases me to that spot. I think I have enough time to do this. Yeah, he's walking pretty slowly. Now, again, I don't know, for me, a part in playing this, on this mode especially, because of the, you know, one-hit kill and the enemies being twice as fast, it's just, seems to be about having, you know, a degree of patience. And just persisting, because really, if you look at it, I don't know how much time has elapsed, and I'm still in this situation, and even from the last time I died, if I think about it, I've only taken down 3 enemies, and when I get out of it, even if 4 hours elapsed, the thing is that I've conserved a lot of ammo and trap parts and done this in a very stealthy way. It's just, again, it's a matter of not letting any, I guess, frustration take over. You know, maybe I could just pull out some explosive bolts and get rid of some people quickly and do this and that, but it's just not necessary in this situation. And I think one thing, I guess, that's throwing me off, because I have to be aware that, you know, there's a window here, and it's easy for me to think I'm hiding or in good cover, but their awareness is much greater, and do you want to come after me? Yes, you do. Come after me, but come after me only so far. If I stop here, see, this is kind of risky. It's better to probably go to the end of the hall, but I'm thinking that, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not, oh no. He didn't really even come up to this point, so if I had went to the end of the hall, this would be pretty hopeless. And I'm hoping I can get behind him. I'm trying to curve myself because he's going to turn to open the door, so I'm not seen, which works. If I didn't curve myself there, it would have just been very easy for him to spot me. I mean, I've had enough of this. Of course, I'm making noise. Oh my god. Yeah, why do I only have 23 bullets? Oh, that's right. Well, that's not... Well, it is. I don't know. Again, there's not a lot of ammo lying around. I don't know how many bullets were on there that I took there. Maybe there were only 3. And I just... You know, I started this out and I'm like, you know, every time, like, having to get this key, and it took me 4 bullets to hit the statue, which just goes to show you how much of an expert I am. I am just... I can't tell you how just incredibly hardcore I am. It just blows my mind, really. Alright, so there's a body over here, and the problem I have right here is that I don't know if... I'd like to think I can burn the body. If he springs up automatically, I feel kind of screwed, though. Okay, I disarmed one. I'm really not going to go through the pain of this now. If this wakes up the body, I have a little bit of distance, and I just... Maybe don't want to bomb here? I'm just running through here because I don't know if it will... Now, I did that in case... I don't know. I wind up getting frantic and running in that direction. But that's not enough, because there's other traps lying around, and... One thing I did is since I did disarm one bomb, and again, every bomb, one of those bombs is 2 parts. Harpoon bolt is only 2 parts. Pretty much at level 5, I can pretty much one hit. I can kill a lot of the enemies this way. You see, I did the Ruvik clone before. The alter egos, I could harpoon him, which I might do. Oh no, there's another body lying there. Oh. I don't know what to do. Okay, well, let me think about this. Okay, so what? There's a mine lying over here? Now, here's the thing. My stock's full on mines. Why not just use one? Because I can't pick up anymore. So, this is gonna make a lot of noise, but hopefully... Okay, let's see what happens. Well, she made a no- Oh no! Are you kidding me? No good. You can see, these enemies must be really, I mean... Really, I don't know, really, from the... How much damage the enemies can take, I always question. It always seemed to me that... And it's hard for me to remember playing on survival because it was like 10 years... No. The thing is, damage-wise, it never seems to me that there's a huge difference, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was just them lying on the ground. You'd expect that. I keep saying mine. It's not a mine, it's a grenade. I throw a grenade. And that just didn't do it. But I'm starting to think if they were already standing up, that it would have killed them. It just felt like, alright, I throw a grenade and it just kind of woke them up. And... Oh no. This is one of these erratic enemies. I don't know why I say that, they're all more or less erratic, they're more aggressive, they're faster. And perhaps they do take a little more damage. I don't know that, though. I mean, as you progress through the game, the enemies do get stronger, it seems. In any case, in any mode, I don't know. I don't know, I threw a grenade. It didn't even, it's just, it woke her up. It didn't even do anything. I don't know, there wasn't any stake in not trying, though. I mean, there was a grenade lying there, and my stock was full. I might as well just try, and it seems like I just made the situation worse. I don't know. It's funny, I saw, like, you know, a 1, so somebody entered the room, and, you know, again, I'm wondering if it's somebody else who came in earlier. And I asked that, and this is the third time I've said it, but I'm sitting in the same place that I... Not good. I mean, if she's just gonna pace back and forth right here, like that, I'm not gonna, what am I gonna do? Oh, no, 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 no. A little too close for comfort, come on. She's too, I mean, this is too erratic. I'm not gonna be able to do this, because I know the other body's over there, too. I'm gonna have to get her to move. I'm gonna... Come on, Sebastian. You know, I don't know. I gotta do something here. Can you see me? Let the door shut. It'll take her time to get through the door. Again, I'm just applying the same tactics as I did before, and I'm running all the way down the hallway because, from my experience, like, every time I've encountered, like, the enemy is the woman who looks like this, I don't know, she seems to be more aggressive and more ferocious than some of the other ones, and she's not the only one, but, again, it's kind of erratic to me because she didn't really chase me far, but she's just... I know that if she gets on my back, that's the problem. I've had the case be where, you know, I'm like running and she's directly on top of me. I can't, I'm full sprint. Oh, man, I'm having a real problem here. Yeah, and I'm not really thinking outside of a box right now. I just don't have time I don't know, I'm not sure how to go about this. I might have to, like, try to make her change. Now, I have the ladder as kind of, sort of, it's not really that safe. If I don't get the door closed and she's chasing me, I feel I'm gonna be screwed. She's doing the same thing, and I just don't feel comfortable even stealth killing her. Like, I don't feel like I have enough time, and I probably do. I'm just not confident enough to... I'm gonna have to try. I don't want the other body to wake up, and this is just not good. I say that a lot, but I'm not, I just don't like this. I don't want to have to do this all over again. I just did it, and I don't want to feel comfortable because this body's lying here, and I'm hoping that I can just... Come on, please don't spring up. Light it, light it, light it. Let's get out of here. Sometimes, okay, when you light them on fire, they will jump up and run after you, and I just don't... I don't want to get killed by... I don't want to sit here and say I should be okay, because really... I guess you could see, and... I mean, especially in this mode, like, just this situation, I mean, there's just one room here, and, how much time is, like, elapsing for me to get through this? And again, this is me, not an expert gamer, but, for me, this is more of a matter of patience, because I obviously, you know, this could be done quicker. It's just a matter of getting through this mode. And I emphasize, I mean, for myself, getting this trophy was probably, like, probably the hardest trophy I've ever gotten. And, you know, I always say I'm aware that there are other, you know, I'm pretty sure there are other trophies that are much harder than this, and there are other games in which there are trophies that I've played beforehand that I didn't even bother to try because I just didn't have the confidence for it. But this sort of gives me more confidence. This is just really... Really, I don't know, for me, like, at least a situation like this is just about having a lot of patience. Like, I mean, all of these enemies, it seems, are gone here, and... but I said that earlier, and then, like, you know, there's a body lying on the ground, and I just wasn't careful. So, there's two bodies that were lying on the ground, that are gone. I might as well just pick this up, since I don't know, I threw a mine or a grenade, I keep saying mine, at one of them that was on the ground, and it just woke them up. It didn't even do any damage to them, really. I don't know. So, there is a wire here, I believe. I don't know, this is hard for me to say. Yeah, there's dynamite attached. I don't really know. Okay, I think 60 is good for me. If I see any motion sensor bombs, I'm blowing them up at this point, because I don't know what to expect. I mean, I break these boxes and, well, it would be nice to get something from 4 boxes, but again, this is on AKUMU mode. I don't really expect much. Kind of would expect to break the boxes and have, you know, maybe the keeper come out, like, from behind it. That would be... Oh, that would be terrible. Yeah, there is another bomb on the wall over here somewhere, and I'm not definitely at this point, I'm not going to disarm it. I always point this out for anybody. I mean, you have your bolts. Sometimes you'll walk up to something and it'll say that you're full. Which really, in some cases you're not. It's just, you have to arm the actual bolt that it's looking at, because I can carry 5, really. 1 just has to be in the crossbow to leave 4 for the stock, so now it's going to allow me to pick it up. And, you know, a bolt in certain situations could be a lifesaver, and freeze bolts really, I mean, it's 5 trap parts to make one of them. I'm not interested in crafting freeze bolts, so if I see certain bolts lying around and I don't want to, I mean, especially if my stock really isn't full, It would be easy to think it is, but it really, you have to have it actually on the exact one in order to see. Like right now, I wouldn't be able to pick it up now because I have 5, but again, I probably didn't have to destroy it. I mean, I can go past it, but I'm anticipating another enemy coming through, and if I have to run, I don't want to run past. I don't want to run past it and have it explode in my face at this point. That's really not. I cannot see. I really hope there's not another tripwire around here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anybody. I don't know. Maybe I have to pick up the battery. I don't know. I feel, see, I pick up the battery and then I feel like somebody's gonna appear. Now I'm almost at the situation where the trauma come out. This is where for me, like, even when I was playing on survival and not this mode, I kind of started to feel like I was getting a beatdown. These trauma come out, like these mini bosses. And then right from that, it's like running away from Laura, you know, which on this mode, it's pretty insane because there's bear traps on the ground and she's twice as fast. And then it's being thrown into a garage with that, the official name Amalgam Alpha, that the big creature in the garage that roams around with the eye sticking out of it. And this chapter just has a lot in it that they throw a lot at you. And then you're just thrown into chapter 11, which really, that also has a lot, and that's a very long chapter. Although, atmospherically, it's entirely different. Chapter 11 and 12 are more like combat situations, it seems like. Which isn't good for ammo. Which is why I try to conserve whenever I can, because the situations in that chapter, I mean, there's no way you can stealth your way through. I mean, you can't. Everybody's aware. There's no way you can hide. At least that I know of. I mean, where's the check? Oh, the checkpoint is until I reach the. All right, I'm almost in that situation. I don't like this. If I wasn't collecting the keys, the first part I could probably get through pretty quickly. This is where I'm going to be kind of testing something and seeing if it works. Man, I can't. This atmosphere is just kind of hazy, smoky. I mean, the worst thing at this point I can think of is just hitting a bear trap or something, but that doesn't really sound too good. Man, okay, this is the thing. This is the heat stamper. So there'll be a few enemies that come out, but yeah, okay, the trauma comes out of that door. Normally you can just lure him kind of to the corner on the back side over there and freeze him or shock him, run to the lever, hit the lever and run underneath this right away. And then you can leave the door here while avoiding getting crushed, but I'm not going to be able to leave because I'm intent on opening up all the lockers, and the only key that I'm missing is the one for killing Laura by the elevator, so I'm gonna have to come back into the room and get this somehow. And I'd like to do it without actually killing the trauma. It's not because I'm trying to be very nice. I don't want to kill the creature, but the trauma are pretty strong, and they can take a good beating, and that really just takes a beating on my stock of ammo or bolts, and it's... I shouldn't be running around like that. I don't need a bottle. What am I doing? Well, at least I hit a checkpoint over here, so... especially on this mode, that's always kind of a sigh of relief. Oh, man. Okay, well, what do I want to do? We're gonna knock down... See, I have my flash bullet level 4. It stuns anybody for about 13 seconds. But, I mean, if a bunch of enemies are together, I mean, literally, I could probably sneak kill 3. There are 3 that come out. I don't think they're not gonna come out, like, all in a group, though. I mean, 2 of them might, I don't know. Was that a rat? Was there a rat on the floor there? I don't know, I always wonder. This isn't it really, if you ever see rats around and you can manage to stomp them, rats seem to drop green gel and even ammo, I believe, and which is kind of interesting. Well, it's all downhill from here, really. I mean, I stealthed my way through half the chapter, and now this is when it starts to get kind of like a beatdown. Mini bosses, Laura, garage boss. I mean, it's all like in a row. It's just thrown in your face. And yeah, I hear the music. I hear the Okay, I didn't see that. Well, I didn't see it. I don't even know where he came from. I was kind of hoping I was standing above the body. You know, I was waiting for the other guy to come over. We were gonna try to light him on fire by just lighting the match, but well, that didn't work. Yeah, there was a rat that came by here. I can't do anything about that. Basically, Sebastian, when he's crouched, I mean, if I'm crouched, what can I do? I can't do anything, really. The only thing you can really do, weapon-wise, when you're crouched is throw a bottle or a grenade, which at least you have that, but he has to stand up to basically do everything. Not that you can use really syringes on this, or they're of any use. You can use them in the beginning when you have no health, but health doesn't matter. But he has to stand up to use a syringe, stand up to light a match, stand up to do everything, and it's not a problem normally, but during the beginning of this chapter when you have the circular blades over your head, just drawing your weapon could mean getting decapitated, so, maybe if I just... See, I managed to stun 3 of them, and oh, there's another one. There's a 4th one. No good. Please, just light the match. Light her on fire. No. Damn it. Again, another recommendation why I just did what I did. I mean, the distance I lit the match right there is pretty good. If I had been closer, you see how he waved his hand like that? That would have been death on this mode. All he had to do was touch my leg, and it's death right there. Nah, probably not good to grab the green gel and stick my head forward when they're spinning blades. Admittedly, that wasn't a good moment, but... This is where it's going to get a little... I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, and it's really because of the key. I'm just going to have to try something new, and if this works, then that's great, because I don't know anything about this, and I'll just be finding out something new, which is always good. It's not bad to explore. You have an infinite amount of lives. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is I go back to that checkpoint. It would be really interesting to see if this guy gets crushed by the heat stamper. Now, if these trauma are just paroling around an area, they look pretty sluggish and slow, and when they're not noticing you, I believe they're blind, from what I understand. I don't think the flash bolt will do anything, so... But I mean, once they detect you, I mean, they can be pretty fast, and they just sling a blade. I mean, they have a very long reach, and it's... This is a matter of, I don't want to basically kill this enemy, because it's just, I might have to if I don't find that I can get the key in any other way. So what I'm going to do is, he's going to come out, I'm going to run back to the area I just was, and I'm going to shock him, and run back here and pull the lever. As I pull the lever, those spikes are going to go up in the air. And I'm just going to run immediately right under the spikes. I'm actually going to run past the heat stamper if I can, and do what I would do if I wasn't collecting the key. And really at that point, if you're playing and you're not collecting the keys or trying to open the lockers, you could pretty much get out of here. But I'm going to have to come back, and I'm hoping that, you know, maybe if I go a certain distance or whatnot, that he'll... But I could die right here anyway, because I might not time this right. I don't know, I don't feel very safe right now, to be honest, and... I'm pulling this lever and running. Please just pull the lever. I can run right underneath these blades, I believe, and watch for that. Now, I'm running out this door. Now, right now, for anybody not collecting the keys, that's pretty much a good way to get out without wasting your ammo. So, oh my god, there's there's more enemies. Fine. You know what? Seriously? Now, I guess the trauma can't, which I was thinking can't get through the door. What I'm hoping is... I don't know how to do this now. And I very well could die. Something must have happened. Alright, well, okay, well that's good. Okay. There were two enemies. Alright, on normal mode, no enemies would appear after you pull that lever. Actually, this isn't surprising. I mean, I thought two enemies, from my recollection, did appear, and they did. And one of them got crushed by the spikes. What I'm hoping is... Now, I don't know where the trauma guy is, though. It would be great to think that maybe he did get crushed by the heat stamper chasing me, and he couldn't get through the door. If that was the case, and his body disappeared, like... That would be great, but I don't know if that happened. That would have been a nice thing to see, because I've never heard of that, I've never read that. I mean, I don't know. It would have been good to kind of show that you can get rid of the enemy that way. But I don't know. I can't see him, and he seems to be gone. That might not mean he got crushed. If he is gone, it could mean maybe when you go through the door, the enemy... I mean, this is a game. I mean, I don't know. Oh my god, this is risky. The statue's right here. He doesn't seem to be here. Which is great, because I was expecting this to be a lot worse, and now I say that in the past tense, but I'm really not out of the situation. I just don't know. I'd like to think he got crushed by this, but it almost just seems like he just disappeared. I really don't want to get crushed by this heat stamper right now. Well, you know, I really like that green gel, but seeing it underneath a thing of spikes right now, no good. I'm not doing it. No, that should be 3 keys. Okay, so there is only one other key on this chapter. And again, I'm opening up all the lockers. This is how I maximize my chances of getting through this mode. I stealth my way out of any situation that I can, which is why I did not want to kill that creature. And just conserving as much ammo as possible, collecting all the green gel. The lockers just have loads of green gel in them and extra ammo. And I'm intent on opening up all of them like I was in my first playthrough, because that last locker you open gives you 100,000 green gel flat out. And probably the total from the lockers themselves is probably about 200,000. If I go back, when I get back to the save room, I just sort of show that, you know, every locker door that's closed so far pretty much represents probably a jar of green gel. And every jar of green gel, the minimum you get from picking it up out of a locker is 5,000 each time, so I might as well take this. Yes, this will be useful. Well, will it? I guess in the... If I hit the checkpoint with this axe, I'll start with the axe, so... I don't want to, I could get crushed at one point. Oh, this is it. What am I doing? See, this is a matter of paying attention. Unless they already came out, I guess they did. I've come in here before and run through this door and gotten crushed by heat stampers, but apparently, I guess when I was frantic and didn't realize there were enemies, it already happened. I know there's green gel at the end of here. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I don't think these things are gonna come back. I've done this before. I don't know if they do, and if they do, it's frustrating, but really... Okay. It's a bit risky, but rewarding. I have to admit, I like kind of the little soundtrack beats in the background when certain things come out. I like the way it adds to the mood, but this... Well, this is another example if it's gonna say what oh no, watch, I switch it, it says I'm full. If I go directly to the explosive bolt, it's because I can carry 5. I just need to put 1 in the and that's really good too, because my explosive bolt right now is at level 4, so that's pretty powerful, and if I need to, I'll probably wind up on the garage boss, maybe hitting him with 1 or 2, I don't know. The sniper rifle becomes a very good weapon on the final boss in this chapter in the garage. Especially when he turns purple. I really don't want to just be crushed by anything at this point. I haven't hit a checkpoint yet. Well, the boxes are empty. Although I should say it's probably better than seeing a syringe. I don't know if I open a box and I see a syringe and I say to myself, you know, I'd rather really see just emptiness, because the syringes, while they look great, are just totally worthless.
What is this place?
Yes, I can carry 30 matches. Unbelievable. That's one of the first thing. I put that at level 5 pretty quickly. Basically, if I can get certain enemies to the ground just with 1 shotgun hit, just light them on fire. Alright, this part's kind of tricky. This should hit a checkpoint, but this can be pretty frustrating. I'll probably die a couple times doing this. There's gonna be 2 trauma and 2 enemies. On playing this game normally, I imagine on whether it's casual or survival mode, there would be 2 trauma. There'd only be 1 other enemy, not 2. And I don't know, it's the enemies too. Like, the trauma are going to move at the same speed. They're going to be faster, those guys, from at least what I'm thinking. So at this moment, they're not going to be in sync with the other 2 enemies. You normally, if you can drag the trauma over to this corner, which I'm going to do to try to bolt them, I don't want other enemies with them, because they're just, the speed is not going to be the same. It's gonna, and you get the trauma over here. Oddly, I mean, I guess even if they'll both kind of harmonize and both be together, which is good. You can either hit them with a freeze bolt, which is kind of risky, and the freeze bolts, the bad thing about them is if you hit something too close, you wind up dying, but from using your freeze bolt if you're too close. I don't even know how this guy he noticed me. Which, I guess it's good to have the axe at this point, but really, I just attracted the attention of these enemies way too quickly, and I'm probably gonna die because I'm not really ready for this right now. Yeah, I can't get out of here. Well, I don't even know how I just did that. But it's still not good. There's bear traps on the ground. See, it's kind of hard to run and look at the ground at the same time. You just gotta know where they are. But it really, what just happened there really wasn't. I couldn't even shock the one guy. I didn't get them together anyway. I didn't want to draw any attention, and this is why this situation might take me a little while, because when I played this the first time, I remember this was on this chapter one of a moment that this is one of the moments I probably died a number of times. I just don't like sneaking up on this guy. This guy, it's the way he's turned, it's just not... I guess I really have to pay attention to the way he's moving, and I should be able to, move to one side. I could die right here. Damn it. Again, that's optional. Figure I'd take advantage of the situation, the fact I hit a checkpoint, and try to get the parts. If I had been much farther ahead, I wouldn't be doing this, but... I'm trying to have, like, some patience in this situation, because this is one of the situations that I did anticipate to kind of be difficult, and is, in a way, at least for me, and although I spent quite a bit of time on a previous section, which I really wasn't thinking about, and that's happened to me, because I'm not... I forgot, I mean, I say I forgot, but I just didn't expect it, even though I've played through this once, for the Rubik clone to be, like, in the room with me. I just did it again. This guy's too easy to attract his attention. I don't know if I attracted everybody else, and if I did, it's just a problem. I mean, yeah, man. I don't want that guy running around at the same time. I mean, it's just, this is not coordinated very well. Usually what I try to do is, you know, sneak kill the one guy. The other guy's not there in other modes. To really just snipe the other guy out of the picture, so you're just left with the two trauma to deal with, because even after you get the gate open, they're still going to chase you. And I'm thinking that the guy's just going to be faster. He's not going to be in sync with the other two, and And again, it's one-hit kill. It doesn't matter if a huge creature's chasing me with a long arm. I mean, I could just get punched or kicked by one of these guys and it's over. Maybe what I should do is just really... No, I can't do that. If I throw the bottle, then they're all gonna come over here. What do I... Oh my god. Give me a break. Just the awareness level is just sometimes insane on this. Fine, just do whatever. I don't think I'm gonna make it through here. You hit me with your arm. I got both of you and that's great, but there's still a guy running around here, and this is what I mean, like the other guy. You think I'm gonna make it? I'm not gonna make this. Oh man, that's not good. Hey, you know what? I think I had a chance if the guy weren't here. And that one extra guy really makes a huge difference that he's here. What I want to do is snipe him. The moment I snipe him, I make noise. It's going to automatically attract the other two, the other creatures, which I guess is fine because every time they've come over here, I mean, I haven't done bad. It's just... I don't know. It's just I'm trying to time this so he's not looking like towards the right, but it's just. Okay, well that's good, but still, this. Oh no. Come on. Screw this, man. I just sniped that guy really quickly, and I have level 3, so I'm hoping the damage is enough to do it. But now why am I putting myself in here? This is not good. They always come together, though, which is good. But I'm hoping the guy I sniped is dead. Oh my god, no. No, no. Again, playing in this mode, I mean, they throw... the bear trap, there is usually probably one bear trap there on a regular mode. But on a regular mode, hitting... well, pretty much hitting the bear trap is not good in any case, because you'll get caught and that wastes time, but... there is another extra bear trap near the lever, and there's extra, just generally, it's safe to expect there's just extra traps flying around everywhere. Okay, he went around the corner, the trauma guy, so... I don't know, this isn't, none of this, I just don't feel safe in this situation. I'm just not gonna bother with the bomb. I'm going to try to disarm the bear trap, though. Again, I'm just gonna say flat out, disarming those bear traps, when you go up to it and you're crouched, that's great. I've realized this much more when I was in the circular blades, and this is sort of ridiculous and really nobody's fault, in my opinion. If you disarm the bear trap and don't move, like, I'm crouched right now. If you go up to it crouched and you disarm it and just sort of, you don't move after disarming it, Sebastian actually stands up. Even if it's a fraction of a second, I don't know why, he stands up after disarming the trap. And when you're in that circular blade section, there are bear traps in there. So standing up means basically you can be decapitated, but really it also means if you're standing there, I figure you make yourself more aware, so... right after disarming the trap, just use the stick to back up, so he won't stand up if you already go to it crouched. Now, I'm going to try to do this now. I know there's another bear trap. Alright, I could see the bear trap where the other one is. I'm gonna hit this guy, but this is going to attract their attention. And why not just pick up some green gel while I'm sitting around here? Man, I don't know where he sort of paces around. Now, that's going to attract the creatures. And I'll just put this right here. Which, I don't know if this is safe.